Hey, hi, good evening. How are you doing right there in Nairobi, Kenya? Yes, Karibo to Joyed Up and Joy meeting happening in Nairobi, Kenya. This is the first of its kind, and it's not going to be the last. It's going to be an amazing space, safe space where you can explore your vulnerability and explore wellness and ultimately joy. And I'm so excited and privileged to be speaking to you today. If you can palpate my excitement, you would see that it's over the roof. I'm really excited. I want to say great work to Lorraine for putting this together, doing everything she could. It's just been an exciting journey since we've been talking up until now, and then this has become a reality that brings so much excitement to me, and I'm so happy to be able to connect with you virtually. I look forward to doing more of life with you all, every one of you. I would have loved to mention each person's name as we saw in the registration portal, but I'm just going to do a shout out the next joy meeting. So I'm looking forward to you being there so that I can do a shout out to everybody that is there. But thank you very much, Lolo. Thank you very much for everyone who is here to experience what joy meeting is about. And yesterday was Valentine's. How was it? Did you have a loved one to celebrate with? How did you experience Valentine? I'd really love to know, but how can we know if you don't tell us? So maybe you get to send us an email, or maybe you get to tell Lolo so she can tell me, so that we can get to know how you spent your Valentine. Sawa? Good? All right. So, but very much we want to just delve into why wellness is important, why it is important for you and I to be in that absolute state of mind. And one of the reasons why we say let's come for a joy meeting, and we say it's a safe space, is because we believe very much so that joy is a critical factor for what we call transcendental performance. Now let me explain it. That if you're a person and you're operating on this level of performance, meaning you have expectations, some of them are met, some of them are not, you're in this level, joy becomes a tool, like energy, strength, for you to then move to this level of performance. And one of the things you must know also is that when you have somebody to love, that's a degree of performance. And maybe one of these days I'm going to break down the science of it to you so you can properly understand my context. But one of the things we'll do here at Joyed Up is to be able to show you the science of mental wellness and well-being, and show you what God says about well-being and how you are able to maximize both to be able to live whole in your life. All right, so we're going to talk about that, but today we need to really delve a little into the issue of love. And because yesterday was Valentine's and we're in the spirit of love, and I want to just hit the ground running by saying that many of us, we yearn to be loved. We're always on the lookout for people to see us, to love us, to accept us, and for us to be free with them. In fact, if you look at what we call the Abraham Maslow's pyramid of hierarchy, the base of that pyramid, they said the physiological needs, food, clothing, shelter, those are things that we need to survive. Meaning if you do not have these things, you're not likely to survive. And you look at the human trajectory of life is going from survival to thriving. And when you go to the next layer, you look at security, you look at safety. That's the next important layer of physical of need for a human being. After that, you have the socials, the feeling of affection and love, the need to love somebody, after which we have self-actualization. So it is difficult for you to self-actualize without experiencing love, because it goes from base to the top, from solving your physiological needs to having a lot of security, financial security, social security, to having love and affection, and then having self-actualization. So you can end up in thriving without experiencing love. That means love is very, very critical for our existence. It's very, very critical for our performance as a human being. And this is why we need to look at the subject of love very carefully. Because what does it do? The feeling of love, when you have that feeling, one of the things it does, it starts to help you. It sort of like mimics the reward system in your brain. And let me explain this. Science has shown that the brain has a reward system. So when you perform a particular activity, your brain rewards you after completing that task. So say for instance, you're a guy here and you see a girl that you really like. You be like, oh yeah, I want this girl. So you go talk to her. The moment you talk to her, you're performing an activity. If she looks at you and says, oh yes, I like you too, there is a feeling that comes all over you, like butterflies. Like that feeling is the release of some critical hormones that is a reward system in your brain that says that, well done, you've landed your dream girl, way to go. Do you see it? It is just the way the brain works, that every time you perform a task or you start or think about performing a task, there is a reward that comes to you when you complete that task, so it becomes a motivation for you to do these things. So here is it. When you love somebody, or when somebody shows you love, there is that feeling. The same way that you have a reward system, it's the same pattern, the same process that goes on in your brain, that the hormones are released and you feel that sense, that funny feeling that you have, your heart rate increases, your heart is beating, pounding, and then you're just feeling butterflies, all of gut movements. All of those things are biological, but happen in your mind. So it is normal for you to feel love, for you to feel affirmed, acknowledged, seen. It is you moving from survival to thriving. It is important, but here's the challenge. The challenge is that somebody can look at you and want you for your body and say everything you want to hear so that they can get your body and leave you alone. So it becomes a space of vulnerability, a place where you can be very, very vulnerable, easily attacked if you're in the wrong company. Do you see it? So when you see the wrong person, it might be attractive, it might check some boxes, but this person is out to use you. You're not able to tell and decipher why, because your emotions oftentimes cloud your judgment. So you're not thinking critically. Your the faculties for critical thinking is sort of like shut out to say, you know what, let's feel now, we don't want to think. And many people run into troubles. A lot of people run into depression, anxiety, because they fell in love with the wrong set of people. Time and over again, I have a session on Tuesday with somebody who, has that issue of loving the wrong people. I've had to counsel people over and over and over from different walks of life, just on this subject of loving people. And that you must understand that love is not just a frenzy feeling or an amazing feeling or a jolly feeling. Love is a tool for thriving. So if you want to step into transcendental performance, you need joy as your energy, but you need love as your strategy. You need joy as your energy, but you need love as your strategy. Meaning, That every time you are validated, every time you're with a person who says you can do it, I believe in you, I'll stay by you, that is an expression of love. If your love language, for instance, is gifts, and the person gifts you something that is critical for your progress, that person has spoken and expressed love to you. That then helps you to be motivated. Remember the reward system in your brain and how it just stimulates motivation. So it motivates you to then move in the direction of your purpose, move in the direction of thriving. But many of us have made mistakes in life in which we have fallen in love with the wrong people. People who have taken us, used us, abused us, taken advantage of us for their own personal gains. And it is awful to experience such a thing. I've been in relationships where I felt used, manipulated, and abused. I never want this kind of feelings again. Many of us are here maybe currently dealing with hurt. Someone that you gave everything to, and they barely gave you anything. Some people that you're fallen in love with, but they didn't love you back. You're gasping for air, for attention, to be seen, or they're not seeing you. The only time they look at you is when they want to have sex with you. And you've wallowed for so long in denial. They've denied you of attention, they've denied you of affection, and it just feels like an unending cycle. Some people even give up on the concept of love and say, you know what, I'm just going to pleasure myself. I'm just going to commit to just pleasuring myself, because this love is not worth it. You want to say love is worth it? It's worth every ounce that you give it. It's worth everything that you commit into it. You are worth it. You've only fallen in the hands of the people who do not value you for who you are. But I'm here to welcome you to a new experience where you can love and feel loved in the most original form. I know it's sometimes difficult to think about God because you can't see Him, you can't touch Him. It's just something that you got to carry in your mind. But I did a bit of research and found out there's some things called dimensions. That the ant lives in a world that cannot be related to our world. We live in a 4-dimensional world. The height, the breadth, the length, and space-time according to Albert Einstein. So we are in time and we do not know how to exist outside time. We're in space and we do not know how to exist outside space. But the ant is not necessarily in time. That is not their reality. As they think, they process in 2 dimensions. So they don't even process height. So they climb up a wall like they're walking on a straight line. It's a different world. God is in a higher dimension. So as the ant cannot imagine a 4-dimensional world, we also are finding it difficult to grasp God's dimension. But it doesn't mean that God does not exist. God is there, and He has loved us with a love that is everlasting. He can love us with a love that is everlasting because He is not bound by this space-time dimension. So He can be outside time, and where there is no time, there is everlasting. Where there is no time, there is everlasting. So He can be in that dimension, pouring all the love on us. But if only you can look, see the love, receive the love, you will see physical, tangible manifestations of that love, but you will know that your heart will be filled with warmth. you realize that the impossible is possible for you. You're validated, you're acknowledged, you're seen, you're heard. Then you become unstoppable. You start to operate in transcendental performance. You start to thrive because you're truly loved, incredibly appreciated. That is what God gives. You know that oftentimes we say at Joy Up that in the presence of God is fullness of joy. Fullness of joy. And if joy is the energy for transcendental performance, that means in the presence of God, I can operate in the kind of performance that is unimaginable. Isaiah 40 verse 31 says, "The day that wait upon the Lord, remember in His presence is fullness of joy." According to Psalm 16 verse 11, it was David who said, "Show me the pathway of life. In your presence is fullness of joy." So in God's presence, there is joy abundant, immeasurable amount of joy. And Isaiah 40 verse 31 tells us, "The day that wait upon the Lord, He renews their strength." Then they step into transcendental performance. How? They mount up with wings as eagles. They run, they're not weary. They walk and they do not faint. So you're stepping into transcendental performance. Why? Because you have strength. But Nehemiah comes in Nehemiah 8 verse 10, telling us that the joy of the Lord is our strength. It says, "Eat, be merry, because the joy of the Lord is your strength." So if by strength we mount up with wings as eagles, we run and not weary, we walk and not faint, we know that joy is our strength. And in the presence of God is fullness of joy. And that joy is our strength. And we wait upon the Lord in His presence. We have strength renewed. We renew our strength and we step into transcendental performance. David said in Psalms 18 verse 29 that by Him I run through a troop, and by God I leap over walls. Meaning I'm able to do the impossible because I have God. I want to encourage you and I want to introduce you to a new realm of living in transcendence, transcendental life. Meaning that you can be loved, appreciated, acknowledged, seen by a being that you do not see. And He will continue to send proofs. Like this moment is a proof to somebody here that He truly loves you. He's probably trying to get your attention for so long, and you just felt, does He truly love you? But here you are, hearing it live and direct, and He truly cares for you. He truly loves you. With Him is joy, with Him is peace, with Him is life, the life that you truly want. And He can give it to you. I've experienced it myself, and that's why I can boldly say, and I'm saying it across the world. In Dublin, we've been saying it since last year. In Nigeria here, we've been saying it. In London, we said it last year again in our conference in November. You know, all over the world. Next month in March, we're going to be in Paris. We're going to be in Dublin, talking about this gospel of joy. Why? Because you deserve to live in wholeness through the heartbreak. Yes, we acknowledge that the heartbreak happened, but this is it. Joy can strengthen you. And as you continue to, come for joy meetings, I'm going to share some things with you. And you can also go on YouTube to see some of the things that we have in there. I'm going to share some of the critical things and how your emotions are formulated and how you can actually regulate your emotions. Here you hear about emotional intelligence, that's fantastic. But here, talking about the ABC, the psychology of emotions and the neuroscience of all of these things. Deep science or godly science, where God actually tells you, this is what I think about you. God has validated you all through scriptures. It says, before you were formed in your mother's womb, He knew you. That every hair on your head is numbered by God. He cares about you, the very details of your life. Now, God has power over everything, but chooses not to control everything. And He chooses to see things from His own perspective. Remember, a rainbow is not an arc. It's actually a full circle. If you see it from the ground up, you will see an arc. If you see it from higher, Maybe you're in the airplane, 33,000 feet, above sea level, you'll see a full circle. So when you see things from God's perspective, you see things as they truly are. So the outbreak you went through, it's not that God denied you or God is not faithful. He's taking you through a process. Though he slay me, that's what David says, I will yet trust him. What does that mean? That even though I'm going through a very difficult time, I will continue to trust him. Why? Because he's like a potter. He takes the clay, he breaks it, he molds it back again to the most beautiful piece that you've ever seen. It's made my life beautiful. It can make yours beautiful as well. Thank you for being a part of Join Me today. I hope this has touched you in a way that is special to you. And I want us to just delve into his presence right now, because I want you to experience the joy of the Lord. I want you to just look at your life's journey, where you've been from your childhood up until now. The things to be grateful for. Let's consider those things that you're grateful for. Think about it. I'm going to play a song right now. The song will play for some minutes, but while the song is singing and ministering to your heart, I want you to consider the thing that you're grateful for, the love that you received from people that you know and people that you do not know, people that you're family with, the people that are just strangers, where strangers have become friends, the love that you've experienced all through your life. Even if your heart has been broken, even if you've been disappointed, there's one time that you've felt love. Consider that time, that moment, and let's delve into his presence. The Bible says that you will enter his gates with thanksgiving, enter his courts with praise. So let's bring gratitude here. Just pour your gratitude in right here before you, and because God is here, just pour it all out and think about it, and the song will continue to minister into your heart. Until the song stops, we continue to pour our gratitude, and you will experience the joy of the Lord. It is a certainty something different will shift in you. You will just feel that something is different about you. Explore, be vulnerable with this. Do it. Open your heart up to it, and you will see that God truly cares for you. Now go. Let's go to the music.
Yeshua, precious Lamb of God. It's all about you. Oh, precious, holy, spotless Lamb, Yeshua, HaMashiach, Yeshua. You are holy. You are holy. You are what nothing else is. Hallelujah. Can we raise that up to the Lord? You are holy. Come on, say. It means he is what nothing else is. You are holy. There is no God like our God.